is to help you and empower you to create wealth, preserve wealth, and then help you manage it through real estate. We talk about Dubai real estate, but if you're looking to invest anywhere else in the world as well, you can pretty much take the principles I talk about on this channel and then apply it rest of the world as well, generally speaking. But buyer beware, always seek local expertise. Today I want to talk about a few highlights and a few projects in the Dubai market that just make a lot of sense in general. At the same time, I'd love for you guys, I'm just looking at myself, Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. At the same time, I want you guys to also ask any questions that you might have. Okay, we're not live on Instagram today. We're majorly live on YouTube. Okay, so if you guys are on YouTube and you got questions, please shoot them across. I'd be more than happy to answer your special questions. Just gonna fix myself here. Looked all right. I'll be more than happy to answer any questions. Okay, guys, I want to talk about a very understated area in the Dubai market. I call it a central area. I want to share the concept of a central area with you. This is a concept that a lot of people talk about, but I think I coined the terms a long time ago. Perhaps I did. But in Dubai, I generally used to distribute locations into four major categories, or three major categories. There was the prime, there was the central, and there was the, let's say, not so central, but now I start calling them residential areas. And then there's the outskirts, okay? The prime is downtown, Business Bay, Dubai Marina, Palm Jumeirah, Blue Waters, Arabian Ranches, you know, when you talk about villas and townhouses. And why we call these prime? Because you might consider, oh, well, you know, if you have in your mind central London as, oh, that's prime because it's central. No, in Dubai, it doesn't work like that. In Dubai, some of these communities are about 20-30 minutes apart, but the reason that they're prime is because they were conceptualized almost 30 years ago, launched 24 years ago, and they've been built now. So when I talk about downtown being prime, downtown has major anchors like Dubai Mall, Burj Khalifa, the fountains to entertain everybody, the Dubai Opera to, you know, mesmerize people, and then the Mohammed bin Rashid Boulevard. So, you know, 5 things I've counted for you. Arabian Ranches has a golf course, big villas, small villas, the community center, the school, the parks, the tennis courts. Palm Jumeirah has the seafront, the hotels, the resort hotels, the mall. You know, as a location gets more prime, it means that it's already been built, and whatever services could be brought in are already there. Like, you know, downtown doesn't have a school, but that doesn't take away from it being prime because there's no place to build a school, okay? In downtown Dubai, it'd be too expensive to build a school. There's a smattering of nurseries around. So prime locations are already built. Properties have exchanged hands many times over, 1 to 7 times in some cases. Like in downtown, if people bought in 2002, 2003, 2004, and let's say a property got sold every 2-3 years, you're pretty much looking at them changing hands 7-8 times. Now what ends up happening, guys, if a property changes hands 7-8 times, every time the owner, except for a few times, would have charged a premium and the price would have gone up. So apartments that were, let's say, launched at 2 million today might be at 6 million dirhams, okay? So apartments that were in dollar terms launched at, let's say, about $500,000 today will probably be about $2 to $2.5 million, okay? Guys, if you have questions, I'm happy to answer, okay? Now, that's prime. Central locations are those locations that are going to become prime. They've got all the smatterings of becoming prime. What do I mean by this? Saeed, Salaam alaikum, Mr. Fahd. Do you see the 1700 square foot price in JVC normal or high price? Depends on project to project, location in JVC as well, Saeed, okay? Generally speaking, if you look at the comparison of what JVC price would be in the ready market of similar comparable properties, okay? So what do I mean by this? So if somebody's launched and selling at 1700 dirhams per square foot, you've got to understand what else in the same category, in the same location, in JVC, with same unobstructed views perhaps, is available on the ready market. Now, if the ready market on that property is 1400, 1500 per square foot, 1300 per square foot, 1700 is justified because you're paying on a payment plan. But if comparable properties of the same range, and what do I mean by that, right? So you got to look at a lot of things. The developer, how many projects have they delivered? Other developers, how many projects have they delivered? So on and so forth. You've got to see what they've delivered, how they've delivered, and then you've got to then understand, is 1700 dirhams per square foot justified? You guys also have to remember one thing, guys. When you're going to buy something that's off plan, I personally, some of my predictions have really come true, alhamdulillah. Like 2017, I told my clients, buy a townhouse, buy a townhouse. Right now, I'm saying townhouses might come into oversupply in 2027, not apartments. You'll see why, and I'll explain to you why. I personally think that when you're buying off plan today, this installment plan that's coming through to you is one of those privileges, blessings that I think 5 to 10 years down the road from the market will not be available. So if you're getting a payment plan on a property, I think 5 years later we're going to be like, remember when developers used to give these payment plans long term? Guys, look, my role, my big is to empower you to create wealth, preserve wealth, and manage wealth through real estate. Why I want to do that is, get you on the property ladder, help you have fun in life, have some money coming in. Don't risk it here and there, nelly-welly. Make some money, have some fun, relax, right? Now, the point is, when you're looking at 1700 per square foot, if a lot of the other things tick the boxes, you pay the 1700 dirhams per square foot. If all the other things are failing and you feel like because you're asking me a question here, 1700 doesn't make sense, don't pay, okay? Don't pay it, okay? And if you want absolute professional help, look, come into our program. We'll help you. We'll help you absolutely for free. All right, guys, check this out. So Said, I hope I answered your question. You can ask me follow-up questions, okay? I'm happy to answer any questions that come through. So I was talking about central locations. Guys, central locations are Mohammed bin Rashid City today and Creek Harbor. Creek Harbor has already been picking up, okay? If anybody's gone in there to buy things, look, things are going well over there. Lots of people have bought properties over there. I personally think that you've got to recognize that it's one of those areas that's going to become really downtown 2.0. Actually, it doesn't matter if you recognize or not. Emaar and the Dubai government's already spent billions of dollars in there, okay? So whether you recognize or not, they've got a plan. They're moving forward with their plan. Do you get with the plan? That's about it, right? And when we talk about central locations, there's a couple of projects, like we've got some that we're reselling with great offers, like get in touch, okay? In MBR City, okay? We're selling them. Some of these are resale, so you can't find these deals from the developer at very, very good prices. Just, there's a number here somewhere. You can just get in touch and say, look, I want that project in MBR City. We've got something in Jumeirah Lake Towers again on a very, very good offer for an end user or somebody who's an investor who's looking to absolutely mint money on a project, okay? It's like make money, because the offer that we've put together is not available in the market. It's not available with the developers. It's only available with us. So if you want that, get in touch with us, okay? So that's about central areas. The other one is in JLT, which is a prime area. Now, I'll tell you about another thing, okay? There is another area called JVC. JVC is a very, very hot residential area. If you've not paid attention to this, then know this, that JVC delivers the highest rental yield. Guys, listen, a lot of people get confused with ROI, blah, 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 blue, blue, blue. ROI is the total money that you're going to make in the long term. In the long term, okay? After you sell the property. What's important and matters day in, day out is the rental yield you're going to be generating. That rental yield equals the rent and net rent that you receive. JVC delivers the highest net rent. That talks about that's important, because highest net rent means cash on cash today. If you spend $100,000, if you can get $7,000 per year or $8,000 per year net rent, $10,000 per year net rent, that means that your buyback or your payback, of that property can vary between 10 to 12 years or 14 to 12 years, which means the money that you've invested, you're getting the property back. And property prices in Dubai generally go up if you've bought the right asset. If you've not bought the right asset, then the prices might not even go up. And that's fine. It is what it is kind of situation. So if you've not bought the right asset, then the property prices aren't going to go up, and it is what it is, right? So in JVC, we've got an immensely amazing project. This is a developer that's really coming up. Just, there's a WhatsApp number here somewhere. Just click it, get in touch with us. As this developer is growing, we're trying to catch what they're offering at an early stage before they become one of those absolutely amazing tier 2 developer where everybody comes in and says to us, for instance, today, I'm talking about a year and a half ago, I had a developer called, I had somebody from South Africa, they reached out to us and they said, oh, we want to buy something like Ellington. When a developer reaches that stage where, their name's known abroad, they're already commanding premiums because of their brand value. And why shouldn't you, right? So let's say if you started a business today producing, I don't know, think about it, right? Cars or bread or mobile phones. In the beginning, you're going to really want people to adopt, people to buy, people to get excited about the products that you're selling. So you're going to be very competitive. But as your brand grows, you might not stay with the same pricing. Why? Because you might think, okay, look, the initial period we really wanted to introduce our services, and you were almost losing money on selling your business or selling the product and getting it into the hands of the people. Now it's time for you to make some money, and that's very normal. A lot of times what will happen is your pricing might increase. And this is the case with good brands in the developer space in Dubai. As they get known, beyond project 5, beyond project 6, beyond project 7. When I say project, that means they've actually delivered these number of projects. Guys, if you have questions on YouTube, just please don't hesitate, ask me, and I will be happy to answer. So beyond project 5, beyond project 6, beyond project 7, what ends up happening is, if they start realizing that there is nascent demand for them, they're going to start pricing things slightly differently. And that's normal because their brand is now known outside the world, right? Outside Dubai. And that's what I'm trying to say. Some of these developers, we try to catch them. Well, catch them, I mean, we try to identify them and then bring them to you earlier on. And if you want the investor brief on this, there's a WhatsApp number. Just click it and say, look, I want the investor brief on the JVC project. Or you could say, hey, I want the investor brief for the MBR project, or I want the investor brief for JLT project. These are good projects. Some of these deals you can't get from the developer. Straight Path is asking a question. My landlord bought 1-bedroom flat in IMPZ, 700 square feet in 2009 for 650,000 dirhams. Got delayed handover in 2016. Started getting 65,000 annual rent with 12,000 dirham service charges, EMI being 5,000. Okay, so what's the question? You made a comment. My landlord bought 1-bedroom flat in IMPZ, 700 square feet in 2009 for 650,000 dirhams. Okay, got delayed, handover in 2016. Started getting 65,000 dirhams annual rent with 12,000 dirhams service charges annually. Okay, so let's look at this, right? So if you're talking about service charges, which are 12,000 dirhams on 700 square feet feels a little high, right? High service charges. Okay, so 17.1 dirham per square foot. I'm not sure what you want me to comment on that, but I can tell you, I read into this transaction. One of the things you've got to make sure, one of the things that Okay, so as a new investor, right? So if you're a young investor, by young I don't mean that you're 20 years old. By a young investor, you're somebody who's never bought a property, or you've bought one property or two properties, and you're just getting into the market. Here's the thing. I'm not going to say that you can come into the market and start getting really good money instantly. You've got to still pick up the right investments. At the same time, recognize that, people, and I know investors who've invested like 10, 20, 50 properties, they don't end up making money on every single apartment. When you're talking to me about IMPZ in 2009, when you bought 650,000 dirhams, I'm going to explain something to you, okay? 2007 was a period, 2009 or 2008 was a period, and I think I know the developer he probably bought it with, right? 2009 was a period of uncertainty. Let's call this the first boom of the Dubai market, and nobody really knew what was going to happen beyond a certain stage. Like, there were the believers, and there was the doubters, and there was the non-believers. The believers thought that this market, the market of pre-2008, because remember, I was in the market before 2008. I invested in the market 2008. I was very young, and I don't think before that crash I really learned a lot. After that, I learned a lot, but I did invest with one of my partners before 2008. What ended up happening was, Business Bay, for example, IMPZ, nothing was developed. Buildings were empty. So people would actually show you a brochure. IMPZ has this lake area, water area, and they would show like amazing lakes, water bodies that looked amazing and beautiful, right? And if you ended up buying there, you're buying into a vision. That vision, in some cases, got delivered and came true, and in some cases it didn't. So what ended up happening is, today, 2024, when you're buying, a lot of it is already built. So if you went to buy something in Business Bay and you just went to see where the building is, the plot, the location, the community views, you can tell, hey, if I buy this apartment, I will face Burj Khalifa. If I buy this apartment, I'll face the road view. So today is very different from 2009, just so you know. Straight Path continues. Is the present market selling one-bedroom apartments for 700K to 1.2 million, selling to customers at a very high price? And as a value investor, do you see the current market? How do you see the current market situation? Look, the current market situation is fine. At the end of the day, the market's market. It belongs to nobody, and it is an amalgamation, or it is an indicator of a lot of buyers who are buying from a lot of sellers, or very few buyers buying from a lot of sellers, or very few sellers selling to a lot of buyers, right? It's general. Right now, you could say we're a little bit in a seller's market still, because the sellers have the power. They didn't have the power in 2016, 17, 18, 19, 20. Post 2021, the developers and the sellers started having more power. And you can actually see this because they've actually, the developers took away the freebies that they were giving, such as Dubai Land Department service charge waivers, Dubai Land Department fees waivers, etc., etc. Same thing with resales, okay? The thing with resales, though, is a lot of times, a lot of sellers tend to overprice properties. And in the Dubai market, we're still a young market, so agents tend to not recognize that these properties are overpriced. But it's not the seller's fault as well, because they can see that their neighbor who sold the property last year at 700,000, the latest neighbor is about to sell it for 800,000. So they're like, okay, he sold it for 700. Now my latest neighbor is selling for 770. Why leave 70,000 dirhams, which is almost about $20,000 on the table? So they're going to want, hey, can I sell it for 850? It is what it is, right? Your job is to find the value within these. How do you find them? Do your research, look around, have an expert guide you, okay? And stop becoming too confused with too much analysis. Guys, listen, it's not complicated, okay? It's not complicated. It's like, if you're hungry, go to a buffet, go to a few restaurants, see which one's more appealing, see which ones fits your budget today, eat and enjoy life, okay? Don't make real estate uber complicated. Why? Because sometimes I've seen over-analysis is the death of a lot of investors. This should be a video. Yes, this should. Over-analysis is the death of a lot of investors, like over-analyzing. Oh my God. And I've been party to this, okay? Over-analysis is the death. Like, come on, guys. Like, I like this, I don't remember who this entrepreneur was. And he said, like, like for instance, if you are running a company or if you're about to join a company, I'll tell you something. A lot of times, some people who hire, they hire very stringently. And there was this entrepreneur who said, like, you know what? Instead of wasting all this time on trying to hire people and going through their personalities, what he would just generally do is bring the person in, give him a test trial for 2 weeks, see how he operates and works, given that they meet the basic qualification. If they don't, just pay them for the 2 weeks. Same thing with real estate, guys. Do the basic homework, do the basic research. If you overanalyze, and I'll tell you something, everybody who's actually over-analyzing to say, oh my God, look at this, how things are going to be. Oh my God, it's so disturbing. I don't know where the market's going to be. I want to show you guys a video, okay? Okay, I want to show you guys a video. Can I show a video like this? Guys, yeah, will they be able to see it? I wish I can show you. Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. I'm trying to get this video. This video, I should have prepared this for you guys before, but I'm sorry, I did not. This video shows how Dubai was 20, 30 years ago and how Dubai is today. Actually, I'm sure that all of you guys, most of the people out there have seen these videos. Dubai 20 years ago, Dubai now. Yes.
3, 2, 1.
Okay.
3, 2, 1.
Guys, do you guys see the amount of development that's happened over the last 20, 30 years? So if you're sitting there thinking, oh my God, will anybody live here? Guys, people live in these apartments. People live in these villas. There's one other video that, it's like Sheikh Zayed Road, like, what was it? 20 years ago. And then Sheikh Zayed Road now, like that's a really good video. If you've not seen it, it's a brilliant. I like to see that video because I grew up in Dubai. I was born in Dubai, so I've seen the transformation. I'll find this video later. So a lot of people right now are over analyzing what will happen, what's going to happen. Dubai oversupply is coming. Okay, yeah, oversupply is coming, and then what? We had oversupply in 2015, and rents are going crazy right now. Dubai needs these apartments. Dubai needs these villas. Dubai needs these townhouses. Well, but because Dubai doesn't have its own population. And so Dubai's own population has been small from the beginning, right? We're at 9 million people. I don't know, the local Emirati population might be less than 2 million. So, and what? Dubai's embraced everybody. Dubai wants you, and Dubai encourages you to call Dubai home. You guys don't know the history that when I traveled and I lived in Canada for 7 years almost, my college mates who were from Dubai, they used to call Dubai home. They used to miss Dubai as home. And if you can't see it, look around you. A lot of people have come back, right? There's a podcast I've done with a lot of my friends. All right, okay. Nick the kid, ask me a question, I'll answer your question, rambling or whatever, right? So the reality is that when you're over analyzing with respect to the Dubai market and you're thinking, oh my God, will these apartments be taken over? Guys, listen, you're not new to the market. People in 2015 thought the same. Oh my God, we'll be in an oversupply situation. 2008, 2009, they thought the same. Understand, there's a very good video out there I made on the Sharjah effect. That when you are moving into the Dubai market and you've bought an apartment, you've got to recognize that there are 2 million people who are continuously commuting every day in to Dubai from Sharjah. And I've seen this in 2008 when the market crashed globally. There was a global financial crisis and the market absolutely crashed. What ended up happening is a lot of people moved from Sharjah to Dubai and Ajman to Sharjah. As rents started climbing again from 2012, 13, 14, people started moving back to Sharjah. Then again, when oversupply came in, in 2015, 16, we saw people moving back from Sharjah to Dubai. Then when the weird pandemic came in, we saw a lot of people move from Sharjah again to Dubai. So when you're looking at, okay, who will live in these apartments, who will come, try to understand that there's 2 million. Let's say, let's not even say that 2 million, let's say even 1 million people coming in from the Dubai market, coming in from Sharjah to Dubai or Ajman to Dubai to work in Dubai. Guys, listen, nobody wants to commute for 2 hours. The moment they get an opportunity where the salary and their disposable income can afford to rent in Dubai, they move to Dubai, right? To make life easy, to get better quality of life, right? So when you're overthinking, don't. So straight path, this was for you. Is the present market selling one bedroom apartment for as a value? How do you see the current market situation? It's a good situation. It depends on what you buy. You buy garbage, you buy wrong developer, wrong location, wrong person, wrong blah blah, you're gonna suffer. Get the basics right, don't overanalyze. All right. Abhijit Sri Kumar asks, which location would you recommend for real estate investment based on potential ROI? Emaar South with its upcoming airport or Creek Harbor with the future Creek Tower development? Both are very different. Emaar South, you're still going to have a long-term view, right? You're still going to have a long-term view, okay? All right, trolls, Ansari, let's hear the real insight from Mr. Nico the Kid. Over to you, Mr. Nico the Kid. Sorry, this is not his channel, so he's not going to be able to ramble over here. I'm going to be able to speak. So, Abhijit, so you got a good question. When you're looking at Emaar South, you've got to look at the long term. What does long term mean? Long term essentially means that their airport, they've already invested a large amount of money in that airport, like billions of dollars have already gone in. The runway is operational, cargo flights are operational. There were a few airlines that were also operational from that airport. I don't know if they're still flying from there. The new investment over there is over $100 billion. But you've got to remember that this investment, while it's been announced, it doesn't get pushed into the area instantly, right? This isn't like instant bake where you take a cake mix, you put it into something, put it into the oven, and it's instantly baked and it's ready to go. It doesn't happen like that, okay? A place starts developing over a period of time. Comparing that to Creek Harbor, so right now, Emaar South, whether we like it or not, is still 40 minutes away from the main city. Okay, so when it's 40 minutes away, you're still going to have that time lag taken into account when people are investing. That time lag taken into account when people are living there. The time lag taken into account when people are renting over there, right? So anybody who rents there is going to say, okay, if I work in Dubai, anywhere in Dubai, right? Even JLT, it's going to take 35, 40 minutes to drive in. Am I willing to spend that much time on the road, on the fuel, on my car? I'm going to be paying less rent then for me to come down to Emaar South. So that's fine. They'll do that. The main question is, when you're trying to now compare that to Creek Harbor, the comparison is not good because you're not comparing apples to apple. You're comparing apples to oranges. Dubai Creek is a more apartment-led development with no townhouses, no golf course, and it's very central to the current central area of Dubai. So it's right next to, thank you Ansari, Jazakallah khair. No, I just defended you, I'm your subscriber, I loved your unbiased review. If you remember me with my old name, yes, MSA, Muslim Student Associations. I thought that was okay. I'm sorry. I appreciate it, brother. But it's okay. Nick doesn't phase us. Like, there are people who have to have a view and they want to come and they want to be heard, and it's okay. Bless him, right? So, alhamdulillah. So check this out. So Creek Harbor is more apartment led. It's got a more downtown vibe. Will it become the new downtown? I don't know. 20, 30 years, will it compete with downtown? Potentially. The Creek Tower development, look, off the grapevine, the rumor, what I heard recently, 3 months ago, is that they're going to announce the Creek Tower again. Because what's happened is they've done the foundational work, but then they stopped, right? And they said, look, and nobody, it's kind of funny because Creek Tower is there in Emaar, but they weren't like making it as the centerpiece for the sales that they were making. They weren't saying, hey, look at this, we're going to sell on this. It was there. So to the extent that one day I got one of the developers' employee on camera, and he mentioned Creek Tower, and then he messaged me later and he said, don't put this video out there, because I think internally they weren't allowed to talk about the Creek Tower. But I will go with my experience. Dubai does things, but doesn't orphan them. Okay, what do I mean by this? The Dubai Islands or the Deira Islands, yes, or the Palm Jabal Ali. This project took some time. It was slowed down. It was almost wrapped away and kept as it was, with a little bit of things happening on the Dubai World Islands. One island, Lebanon, had a resort on it, so on and so forth. What ended up happening with Palm Jabal Ali? They've relaunched it. Yes, it will take 20 years to get done and built, but it's going to come, and it's going to come with a bang when it's done, right? Look, Dubai's got a long-term vision. Relax. Same thing with Creek Tower. They've stopped it, but the foundation's already done. That base foundation is probably about $1 billion dirhams or $1 billion in, because you're going to have this tall tower. And I think that Dubai will do it better than Burj Khalifa. Why? Dubai learned from their own workings and things that they've done. Burj Khalifa, it's a prime piece of real estate, both into the sky and in an area which is a prime piece of real estate. But when we look at Burj Khalifa from a livability perspective, from a usability perspective, it's kind of like on the fringes. It adds a lot of byproduct value to the place, but I have people I've known who lived in Burj Khalifa. After about 2-3 years, they get a little bit tired. Why? To enter Burj Khalifa, you've got to go through a lot of security. To get a guest up to Burj Khalifa, you've got to go through a lot of security. So you got to almost come downstairs to take your guest. If you're there, I don't think the fireworks have the same, but they've got their own viewing area where the fireworks look amazing. Sometimes they don't have balconies. The apartments are kind of funny. So the point is, Burj Khalifa as a centerpiece is amazing. But how many people go to live at the Armani Hotel? How many people go and enjoy it? I've been there on and off. It's very nice. It's a fun experience. I think you should do it as well. Not just go to the top, but go and enjoy the restaurants. If you're visiting Dubai as a tourist, don't just go to the top. Perhaps make a booking. If your budget allows, it'll be a little bit more money, and then you spend some money there and enjoy life, right? Creek Tower is not an apartment building or a hotel building. It's going to have a viewing deck like CN Tower in Canada, and it's going to have the ability to enjoy the view from the top, and I think it'll be interesting, right? I don't know, human beings have this fascination with tall structures. Dubai kind of uses it in a good way and gives people a good, decent, I think a halal way to enjoy life, like a family-driven way. Like, Dubai's kind of led that. Come to Dubai and enjoy a family vacation. Like, you don't need to come to Dubai and worry about safety and security. You could go to Kenya, enjoy the animals, the safari. You can go to another country, enjoy the mountains. You can come to Dubai and enjoy shopping, malls, and the desert. And they are encouraging a lot of nature stuff as well. MS Ansari says, Fahd, I totally agree that Emaar South is 40 minutes from the center. But to be honest, if you go from JLT to Deira, it will take more time. Best part of living in Emaar South, you always travel. Yeah, I agree with you. So I agree with you with respect to uh, you're traveling against the traffic. I agree with you when somebody says, you know what, let's say they work in GLT, and the other option they have is to live in Dera. Like, let's say their budget as a Fahd Dubai or Dera. So they're like, you know, if I'm traveling from Dera to GLT with the traffic, and then at home time with the traffic, it's going to take me an hour. I might as well go to Imar South, get closer to my family, be in a quieter neighborhood, and you like it, and it's good. And that's good. But for some people, they might be like, and then for some people, that 40-minute drive is amazing. Look, I've done commutes in the Dubai. I've done commutes, mashallah, Allahu Akbar. In Canada, I used to commute. Me and my friend, we used to go to work, like one of our first jobs. And I think our commute was 2 hours, 30 minutes. The way we passed that time, there used to be iPods, right? You kids remember iPods? We just used to listen to stuff, right? Same thing I used to do in Dubai, commuting to Sharjah, in Dubai, commuting to Abu Dhabi, any place, okay? We just listen to stuff that motivates us. We listen to stuff that we enjoy. All right. Jaleel, walaikum salam, rahmatullah. We're about to end this live. If you got any questions, guys, please shoot them across. I'd be happy to answer. But if you're just saying assalamu alaikum, walaikum assalam, wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Okay, guys. Look, last but not the least, I wanna say something to you guys. Guys, listen. When you guys are investing, my role, my job, what I would like to do is empower people to invest through real estate, empower people to create wealth through real estate. And while we talk a lot about Dubai, some of you might look at other countries, okay? So I'm gonna say something to you guys. When you're looking at other countries, it could be Bali, okay? I can see a lot of news coming about Bali. It could be about India. It could be about Pakistan. It could be about Canada, Toronto. One of the things I'm going to recommend to you is sometimes going in the opposite direction makes sense, okay? Now, because I started seeing ads on Bali, this is now the time. Well, when you start seeing ads on Bali, which means that people already have started recognizing it, okay? So if you want to go to Bali, now would be the time. What project we speak now? I wasn't talking about any very particular project, brother, but I'm talking about countries, okay? Similarly, if you're from Pakistan, I wouldn't recommend if you're not from Pakistan. Pakistan is a good place to invest now. Now, here's the thing. There's a Warren Buffett principle. When there's fear on the streets, get greedy. When everybody's greedy, get fearful, okay? So everybody's fearful on Pakistan right now. Like generally I sell Dubai real estate. I don't sell Pakistani real estate, but I'm giving you thinking. People are fearful in Pakistan because you can't take money out. And they're fearful about the government and the situation and whatever, right? The point is, this is the time when you go and pick up deals. This is the time when people need money. You go in with your clean money from abroad and you pick up good deals in Pakistan, because once the things get better, prices go up, okay? Bali, I think, is in Indonesia, right? Who knows where Bali is? Bali is in Indonesia, not in Thailand. Bali, Indonesia. Yeah, but like you might think, why am I talking about Bali? Guys, listen, I'm actually giving you which country is Bali? Bali is Indonesia, right? Yes. Guys, listen. The reason why I'm talking about Bali is not Dubai real estate. I'm talking about in general, okay? I've started seeing ads on Bali. I'm thinking, okay, some people might think I should go to Bali and invest. Bali Airbnb is working supposedly very well. If you invest, you get the money back. The point I'm trying to make, the important point I'm trying to make is, guys, look at the regulatory environment in that country. For instance, if you go into Bali and you're about to buy something and they say, look, you can't buy on your own name, I'm out. Right? There are countries where you can go and buy, but you can't buy into your own name. There's ways to circumvent that. Yeah, maybe you have a wife who's from Indonesia and you trust that wife and you're like, okay, I'll put it in her name. Then it's okay. You got a friend who's Indonesian, you trust, you guys have done business long time. But if you're a first-time investor, look at the regulatory environment of a country before you go and invest, okay? Is it possible to invest now for resale purpose after 2 years? Yes, it is. 1.5 or 2 years. Yes, but you've got to be careful, Jalil. What you're buying, you have to be careful. You have to really be careful with what you buy, especially in Dubai. If you want to sell in 1 to 2 years, you have to be careful. In 3 years, life becomes easier. Okay. What about food business in Pakistan? Food business. If you know, see, here's two things. Now, here's the thing. There's food. Food on its own, everybody's buying. Whether it's junk food, healthy food, bad food, good food, night food, yes food, easy food, expensive food, everybody's buying, right? Business. Do you know how to run a business? Can you match these two things? So food, everybody's buying. Do you know how to run a business? And I'll give you an example. A simple example, when you get entering the food business, a lot of times entrepreneurs, when they're starting a restaurant, and I've seen this many times. I saw it in Toronto. One of my mentors was opening a restaurant. What food were they serving? They were serving Somali, Indian, Pakistani, Chinese food. I personally think a restaurant shouldn't do this, okay? Unless you're really something super. Serving 4 kinds of cuisine, you're going to end up doing no cuisine good. And actually, I made a rule long time ago, 2013. I still remember I went to eat in Dubai Marina and they serve Chinese and Mexican. And it was very late and we went there with a friend and we ended up ordering, I don't know, Chinese or Mexican. But, you know, the food was kind of interesting. So I decided that if a restaurant serves more than one cuisine, we're not going to choose it for XYZ reason, okay? Can we continue the pod? Can we continue? There's some questions here, guys. Okay, thank you for this question, guys. I'll answer your question, Pankaj Jain, because I don't think I'll get time to make a video on this. But thank you for being here and asking this question, okay? So let me answer this. I want to come, so Pankaj Jain, you're asking, I want to come to Dubai from India and settle in Dubai. What is the right way to go ahead and settle? How much investment I need? Minimum for investment. Okay, Pankaj, look, I'll start by saying the first things first. You will need an expert to guide you through the investment landscape, which is Dubai real estate in Dubai. You can work with our team. We do it for you. It's a paid service, but we'll do it. Or you can work with any other broker. The thing is, when you're looking to move your life and settle into Dubai, you need unbiased advice from somebody who's got your best interest at heart, which means that you should be able to come, because Dubai has welcomed my grandfather, my father, me, my children. So I want other people to come and settle over here in a good way, in a nice way, not to come to Dubai, get ripped off, not get the right investments, right? So you need somebody, and I'm saying it's me, you need somebody to give you unbiased advice around the whole settle into Dubai situation. We've had a lot of people move over here. I'm talking from South Korea, from India, from Pakistan maybe as well, but definitely from India, South Korea, India, Canada, USA, UK. So I know the kind of challenges you generally feel. We can actually advise you. When you're asking me, what is the right way to go ahead and settle, how much investment I need minimum for investment? Look, this is going to really depend on your personal life situation, right? I don't know your personal life situation, but let's think about it like this. Let's say you got kids who are right about to go to university. Let's say you've got kids who are just, you know, less than 10 years old, they're just finishing school. So you're going to have to start thinking a lot of things like, okay, if they're going to university, where they're going to go to university? In India, Dubai, or abroad, as in the UK, USA, Canada, Australia, New Zealand, etc., or Jamaica, whatever. Depending on your plan, or if the kids are in school, you can't just move here if the kids are not already admitted into school. So you're going to think on the family side. Or, hey, I'll buy a property there. Maybe you end up buying a property here, you end up moving here in a 2-year or 3-year or 4-year plan. So what we generally do is when we sit together, when we work together, we would create a plan for you, depending on your personal situation, financial and practical, right? Maybe you've got parents who are elderly, you need to be close to them. Maybe your business is really set up over there. There's X number of things that are very personal to you. Based on that, I can give you good advice on how you would move into Dubai. Generally, you would look at a few things. Your personal life situation. Are you single? Are you married? Do you have children? Can you just get up and go? Do you work free? Your work, so personal life situation, your work situation, Your timeline. So you would take a piece of paper, write all of this. Hey, what's my personal situation? Your work situation, your timeline, when do you want to move? The amount of money you've got to invest in a property in Dubai. What kind of visa can you get? Can you get a golden visa? Maybe you have enough money. Maybe you can buy a villa, so on and so forth. Maybe you don't buy in the first year. Maybe you just rent in the first year. All of these, you've got to think through to know. I've got to know to help you develop a good plan. Hope I've given you some food for thought. Jalil says, I like UAE. Here you feel safe for investment, more specifically on government. That's absolutely true. Dubai is quite safe from an investment perspective. Just choose the right project. Ansari says, there are few apartments that developer is selling directly in Discovery Garden. Do you think it's a good investment? It's a little lower than market price. What do you think the reason would be? No, it can't be lower than market price. You've got to understand, if market price is 1,000 dirhams, and somebody is selling for 950 or 900 dirhams, that's the market price for that thing. And it's very easy to see this. Go and check out the state of the apartments. Go and look at the views. Go and check out the payment plan. Go and check out the documentation, the regulatory environment. Are they rented at a lower rate, right? Check out all of this, and then you'll see, okay, are they lower than, and if they are lower, like you've answered your question yourself, right? Lower than market price, that's a good value, yalla, buy it. Is it a good investment? Yes, right? If this pen was 10 dirhams, but somebody's selling the same pen for 7 dirhams, and you need a pen, let's say that, and you've got the money to buy a pen, 7 dirhams, good, buy. So maybe that guy doesn't know that he can sell it for 10, so yalla, buy it. Umar Ali, first sell something that the people are comfortable with at first, then start adding some new dishes in menu. Okay, first sell. Your skills are on expert level, sir. What is your age and when you started working on your skills, like on English and communication? So first sell something that people are comfortable with at first, then start adding some new dishes in menu. Okay, thank you. That's a comment. Umar Ali asks, your skills are on expert level, sir. What is your age and when you started working on your skills, like on English and communication? So from an English perspective, look, we went to an English school in Dubai, okay? So we kind of like taught English at a very young age. We were exposed to English movies, English radio. Dubai had a lot of British influence at that time, so we started speaking English. But I went to a regular English school. I didn't go to an English school that was, I wasn't surrounded by white people. That's number one. But we learned. Then I lived in Canada for a long time, so this is just English from a speaking perspective, and I read books and stuff like that. From a communication perspective, my elder sister was a natural at communicating and speaking. I did not start as somebody who was natural, but I was expected, and the family expectations were that you should be speaking naturally as well. So just go and do a lot of participation with, they used to be called elocution contests, which are you recite poetry, or debating, where you debate. I don't know if this is still famous, but so I started debating, elocution, reciting poetry at a very young age, and I continued through university. One of the things that I remember reading from Malcolm X's book, Malcolm X became a very good orator in prison. And he talks about how he became a very good orator, and you can also, it's just by practice. That's all you have to do. So Omar Ali, if you want to improve your communication skills, just practice, and you'll be there. Jaleel, last question, guys, and then we kind of end this because this is going on now. I'm thinking to buy off-plan property for dirhams 1.8 million, and I have 800,000. It's 44% for down percent. Because I made income in some strategy for 25%. I need same to do. Is it possible now? And where will you recommend? Look, if 44% is the down payment, you're most likely buying a property that's not straight from a developer. You're buying a property that's on resale, which means you're paying a premium. So if you're buying it for 1.8, from the age question, I don't know if I should answer it. I generally don't hide my age, but I don't celebrate my birthdays, so I don't remember my exact age, generally speaking. But I was born in the early 80s. Now you can do the math, all right? Jaleel, I'm thinking to buy, so coming back to Jaleel asking, I'm thinking to buy off-plan property for 1.8 million, and I have so Jalil, look, it's very obvious that you're buying something from a reseller who is going to add a premium, and there's nothing wrong with this, by the way. Like, he might be adding a premium of 100,000, 200,000, 300,000. It goes to show, just calculate how much premium you pay. Then look at if you're comfortable paying that premium. Why? Because if you're buying for 1.8 and he bought for 1.7, this is good. If you buy for 1.5, you're paying 300,000 dirhams premium. Premium means that you're going to put it in his pocket. Can't you wait for the developer to launch something similar and buy it in a similar area? Why are you so attached to this property? Understand that. Also understand you're paying him a premium 300,000. The market needs to move further up for you to get 25%, okay, onto your money, okay? All right, Ansari, same age as yours. Bless you, brother. All right, guys, look, thank you very much for being here. You look 25. Yes, thank you very much. Love your work. Engin from Australia. MashaAllah, MashaAllah. Assalamu alaikum, brother. MashaAllah. Jazakallah khair. Jazakallah khair. Okay, sir, you're a very good person and you have earned my respect towards you and your hard work. Thank you. Jazakallah khair, man. This is a very nice surprise. Nostalgic cars, mashallah. Very nice to hear from you, brother Engin from Australia. I hope you're very, very well. Inshallah, inshallah. Let's stay connected, guys. Thank you very much for taking the time on being on this live. I really appreciate you guys talking to me, sending me questions, and engaging with me. Thank you very much. If you guys have questions, look, Saturdays is when we go live. Today we didn't go live on Instagram, but on YouTube. Catch you next week. Bye for now.